Rosaura, Wawi, Tijerina. How are we doing today?
Fine. How are you, Paul?
Good, good. Let's
Good.
touch base. What's going on with the campaign? How's everything?
It's going very well. We're working hard. We've had a very, very good response. I know that our team is actually doing everything after hours and the weekends, and what's best is that we are talking to the people, and they come across very positive, which is good, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about. You've been a commissioner for how long now?
11 years. I've
And,
been,
and before that, you were municipal court judge, right?
no, before that, I was off for 4 years, and prior to that, I was a municipal court judge. Correct.
So you've served the community in public office for a good while.
Yes. Actually, Paul, I always have it in my heart to help people. As a very young girl, I used to be very, very much involved with the community. And I'm going to say this, when I was in high school, I would always volunteer with the juvenile department, trying to advise other children, other kids like myself, that, hey, there's other avenues and there's better things in life, think of what you're doing, because you as a person has a choice. We all have a choice, whether to go the right way or the wrong way.
Exactly.
And to me, I thought it was very important that somebody needs to talk to these kids, someone their same age.
See, no, yeah, absolutely. When you were a municipal court judge, what was those experiences like? What did you see? How did the community in Laredo, how did they embrace that?
Oh, when I was a municipal court judge, it was a very rewarding experience. You would hear all different types of reasons why they were stopped and given a citation for whatever. It was very touching also, because you would also see people who would get citations. They didn't have money to buy the registration forms, or they didn't have money for the insurance, what have you. Needless to say, some are very, very poor, and they need their car to work. So obviously they were caught, and I would work with them by giving them community service, and I would do whatever it would take to help them out. Yes, granted, if they would come again to my court, I would always say, listen, I gave you a break, please do not take advantage of the system. You need to pay for it somehow. And people were very understanding, but I was very compassionate as well.
Sure, because there's people out there that don't really have the money, but mistake's a mistake, and sometimes, so you were fair when it came
Exactly,
to that.
I was very fair.
Now, what are the roles of a commissioner?
The roles of the commissioner, we have policy-making power. We are the ones who look at the whole picture in the county, like to approve the budget, to approve the tax rate of the county. We also are responsible for fixing roads and bridges in the county. Now, there is a misunderstanding, because some people say, hey, El Puente por Gustavo Street is not well. Well, unfortunately, we must make a distinction between the city and the county. Even though a certain bridge falls under my area and the District 3 area, notice it is within the city of Laredo, so it's up to the city council member to do that. When it falls outside the boundaries, then it falls under me. We are responsible to making sure that they are up to par and working properly.
Right. Yours is one of the biggest areas, ¿verdad?
Yes, my precinct is one of the biggest precincts. In fact, the last time that we had a census, I was told that I had to cut from my area. We had to redistrict the whole county because my area was the biggest, not even compared to the rest. So what we did is we took off Aguilares and I would say Mirando, and gave them to Precinct 1 because, like I said, mine was the biggest. And we even cut some more areas to meet the demands of the state. My area is a very remote area because it goes all the way to Oilton and Bruni, Texas, right, which is very far. And it's the biggest area, remote.
But Oilton is not part of Webb County, right?
Yes.
It is?
Oilton and Bruni are part of Webb County.
So they're important, okay.
They are.
So yeah, there's a big, okay.
Yes. And Laredo is the sixth largest out of 254 counties. As you can see, what we are doing as far as projects, myself, I love to work with TxDOT because of the growing amount of population in Webb County and because of the amount of houses being built and families growing, I am working with TxDOT, for example, that overpass that they did in Clark, that is in our area. So I went ahead and worked with them to make sure that the overpass was built. We're now working on the International and McPherson because the big traffic. My goal is to make sure that the Loop 20 is expanded and extended for more flow of traffic. Laredo is the #1 inland port, and we have at least 15,000 trailers that go in and out every day. We need space. So infrastructure is very important to me.
Exactly. You all are working with trying to get a bridge for that.
Right.
How's that coming along?
We're working on the 5th bridge, hoping that we can work together with the city. It's a good source of revenue, and the city and the county can actually work together to help each other out. I mean, the people from the city and the county are the same residents, but, majority of them are the same residents. Some live in the county alone. But what I want to say is if we can join forces, become partners in that particular project, that would work fantastic. Both city and county can make money out of that.
That's a good. And where's that supposed to be, verdad?
We are looking at a site in South Laredo through Rio Bravo, El Cenizo. That's where the 5th bridge would be built. Tamaulipas is already in agreement. We've been in constant communications with them. Of course, that's going to be very good because they'll create a lot more jobs and more flow of traffic, more revenue for the city and the county.
And how are those municipalities going? Is it in Laredo or is it not in Laredo?
It's in Webb County.
It's in Webb County, but not Laredo, right?
Correct. But the city is in the business of running a bridge.
Bridges.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
So that's why we would need to work with them. I'm sure El Cenizo and Rio Bravo would benefit from them. And you know what? They do need help.
They all that. Of course, all that's going
Yes.
Right. Is there effort that there's supposed to be another loop?
Correct.
Or something behind?
Right now, I was appointed to a committee that we represented different areas in the world, and I'm talking about Canada, United States, and Mexico. And I shouldn't say the world, but Canada, United States, and Mexico. And basically, we would meet, whether in Canada, whether in the United States, or in Mexico, we would meet, and we started working on the I-69 corridor. The I-69 corridor is a major project that they're thinking of having from Mexico all the way to Canada, or from the United States all the way to Canada. Because, again, of the 18-wheelers and the flow of traffic, this is going to bring revenue not only to Mexico, United States, but Canada as well. Now, the I-69 corridor, which is a future I-69 corridor, will connect 35 to 59, which will be part of the corridor. And that is an excellent project that I also want to be part of.
Oh, that'll be great. And,
Yes.
and you've already started it.
Oh, yeah. I've been in those meetings day in and day out. Every time that we meet, we try to advance as much as we can.
Yeah. What goals, when you became a commissioner, what goals did you have and say, you know what, I really want to do this? And which ones have you accomplished? And what do you say, you know what, these are my new ones that I want, if we get voted back in, for me to go forward with?
The #1 goal,
excuse me,
Paul, I can honestly tell you, is the colonias area. These colonias, these residents, I should say, have been living in third world conditions for such a long time. The colonias have been in existence for over 50 years. Not one colonia had water or sewer. And we must understand, Paul, that water is a necessity. It's not a luxury. So everybody needs water to survive. I had a huge working relationship with the plumbers from Webb County because I had a meeting in Commissioner's Court and I invited all the plumbers and I said, listen, guys, can you do me a huge favor? I got together with the JPs and I said, if you get a ticket from a plumber, ask him if he can do community service for me. I need people who can help me. The state is very, very strict. If you don't have indoor plumbing, then you don't qualify to get water hooked up in your property. It was very difficult for us. So I would tell the plumbers, listen, there's this house right here who has a family of 10 plus mom and dad. They don't have indoor plumbers, indoor plumbing. Will you install the plumbing for them? And of course, the JPs work very closely with me. Ask community service and have the ticket dismissed, or just fine suspended for community service. We had to educate the public in the colonias. We did so much walking and talking to the people and saying, listen, we're going to come by your property and we need your permission. Give us the right of way so we can install the lines so you can get water and sewer. Some people would say, yes. Some people would say, Paul, pobrecitos, they would say, no, a mí me costó mucho dinero para comprar esta propiedad porque te voy a dar 10 pies. No me lo estás dando, nomás me estás dando permiso de meter las líneas para que tengas agua y drenaje. And that's how we would educate them, and finally we say, okay. So no me lo vas a quitar, no te lo vamos a quitar, es tuyo. Nomás danos el permiso, el right away para entrar allí. It was very rewarding. The first time I opened a faucet, very nice. Now you have drinking water. You have water available for young kids, babies, and elderly people, you know. So it was very, very rewarding. That was a major project that I really wanted to accomplish.
And that's a step going forward. But for a long time they didn't have, and they still don't have mucho de ellos.
Exactly. Some don't even have. And you know what? We were able to get grants from the federal government for the house-to-line connections. And some people, because they did not want to give us a right-of-way, we had to skip them. Paul, we would go like this, fix his house, fix his house. Let's say this person did not want to give us a right-of-way. We have to go around that person and continue providing the line. Now this person who did not want to give us a right-of-way wants for us to pay for it. Ya se nos acabó el dinero del right-of-way. So now he has to pay on his own.
Sure.
But we're still trying to help him to see if we can get more money from the federal government to continue providing a better quality of life for these residents.
You know, a lot of people do not understand what the colonias became. First, they were sold as ranchettes, remember?
Exactly. And you hit the target.
And then they made that law.
Exactly.
The ranchette law. You couldn't sell a subdivision for less than, 10 acres? Una cosa así, ¿no?
Correct. And you couldn't even subdivide it.
You couldn't subdivide it anymore. It had to be subdivided before. So people were being sold these parcels of lands of 5, 10 acres. And then people started moving there.
Exactly.
And where there was no water, there was no sewage, there was no amenities in it whatsoever. And then all of a sudden, everybody was out there, and now we need to supply.
The land developers, when they were selling those parcels of land, never told the people, hey, you can't subdivide, you can't do this. They have to be platted, they have to meet the standards of the state law. So it was very difficult and expensive for the owners. So to them, it's a precious piece of property that they own, and they don't want to jeopardize it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I understand.
We understand.
Yeah, we understand.
Every person's home is their little kingdom, right?
Yes.
Exactly right.
Yes.
Their castle. And we have to understand that, but we need to help those people that are out there.
Exactly. It's very sacred to them.
Yeah.
And we respect them for that, and we need to help them.
Yep. What other things have you done?
TxDOT, which is the infrastructure, the colonias, which is also, we have improved the quality of life for all residents. Let me tell you, we had a contract with the city of Laredo that was charging us $200,000 to provide EMS and firefighter services. Then they raised it to $600,000, and then they wanted to go up to $5 million to $6 million. So we finally said, no, it's too expensive. Let's open our own fire department, and we contract the EMS with Angel Care, who are doing a fantastic job. And what happened was that we just had the ribbon cutting ceremony for the main station on 59. We have a fire station that we built in Bruni, Texas. Now we're getting ready to finish the fire station in Los Botines. We want to have response time. Now, if somebody calls from I-35, Los Botines and 59 can respond. Bruni, we have Bruni and 59 can respond. So now it's growing. Now we have our own volunteer fire department, which is excellent, run by professional firefighters that some are even employed with the city of Laredo. They're doing a fantastic job. So that's another major project. We had to do it. We had to do it from one day to the other. So guess what? We're not paying $5 million. It's a lot less for employees.
Sure.
excellent project also.
What else do you think, or what else would you like to do if you come back and see in January? What do you say? This is what I'm going to tackle.
When I come back, I'm going to tackle the same thing, finishing the project at the Colonias. Believe it or not, it's been a long, awaited necessity that they needed, and we're still working on that. I'm going to continue working hard to improve the quality of life for residents of Precinct 2, especially the infrastructure. And I want to have shared, what can I say? Shared ideas. Let me give you a perfect example. And I got this from a friend of mine who lives in San Antonio. And for some people here who have property in San Antonio, they gave me a very good idea. We need to do shared activities, such as the taxes. You have to pay taxes with the City of Laredo, the County of Webb, UISD, LISD, LCC. So many entities. Why can't we combine the taxing entity? It's one property. Exactly. It's one property to all of them. Whatever it is, pay it to a central department and let them handle the division of the fines. It'll save a lot more money, a lot more time, and hey, we all work. We don't have time.
And that duplication of services and departments, of course, those taxing entities, each one's a different entity by itself. But start cutting that down, people they're happy.
Absolutely.
And that's one thing that everybody always complains about the county, that there's a lot of duplications of services. Mm-hmm. What do you say about that? Which ones do we have to cut down to bring forward? What do you think?
On the duplication of services, Paul, a beautiful example is the county attorney's office. In the county attorney's office, we had to create our own legal department because every time we required services from the county attorney, he is the attorney for the county, right? So when we required services from the county attorney, they would always say that it's a conflict of interest, we cannot help you. We don't do those type of cases, or whatever, on and on and on. So basically, we acquired his attorneys and opened our own legal department. So we didn't add new staff. It's not a burden or an extra expense for the county. It's within the same. But you don't want to do it, then give me these attorneys. They'll do it for us. That's what we're doing. Sad to say, I'm hoping that everything works better, as time goes on. But the county is working much, much better now.
Same. On the attorneys, isn't he supposed to be covering everything for the county?
He's supposed to, yeah.
And what happens? They said no?
Well, I don't know if you remember that several department heads sued the commissioner's court. The problem is, Paul, that we are a strong commissioner's court, and we finally started saying, no more staff members. I mean, you need to help us. Your staff needs to work for us because they represent the whole county. And when they would say no, then we say no more staff for you then, because you're not helping us at all. It's costing the county a lot of money. And not only the county, Paul, but the taxpayers. We're paying for it. So what we are doing is not costing the taxpayers anything, not anymore.
Okay. How about this whole issues with the FBI's and coming in? ¿Qué está pasando? What's going on? A lot of people are speculating everything, and they're taking it into Never Land.
Yeah.
¿Qué está pasando?
I have no idea what's going on. I know for a fact that the FBI has been investigating. We don't know what offices are going to be involved, what offices are not going to be involved, because it's an ongoing investigation, and they will not tell us anything.
Okay. With what's going on ahorita with like, say, the county, do you think when you come back, do you think you're going to try to work with everybody back again together? Because you've been the one that's kind of doing this with everybody.
Correct.
What needs to happen more?
I think lack of communication. I think we need to have meetings individually and say, hey, this is where we can help you, and this is where we cannot help you. They need to understand. The problem, Paul, I'll be honest, is that we used to spoil the department heads. We used to spoil. They wanted something, we would give it to them. They wanted something, we would give it to them. Now we've learned how to say, no, hasta aquí, okay? And they don't like that. So that's why all these lawsuits were filed against us. But thank God we've been successful in every single lawsuit. They need to learn, hey, dude, just to a certain extent. And then, if you need more, we'll see. We can help you. But let's make sure that the job is done. That's all we're saying.
Sure.
Yeah.
Things like a lot of those colonias, a lot of those areas, they have a lot of, there's recreation centers y todas esas para eso, ¿no?
Yes, we have community centers.
Do we have any prevention type programs to get the kids off the street and stuff like that?
Yes. In fact, I'm so proud. Las Blancas Park off 359 was remodeled. The prior administration, before I came in, they spent $1 million in that park. Y era puro caliche. The kids would fall and they would cut themselves, and it was terrible, terrible. Anyways, we were able to get a $10,000 donation from International Bank of Commerce. Juan Molina, a little Boy Scout, got his troop to help us because he was working on his Eagle Scout to volunteer and did the pathway. I know there's several donors who gave us a red dirt. We had the Army Corps of Engineers come down to Laredo and work on the whole park. I would love for you to tour over there. Yeah, sure. It is gorgeous, beautiful, state of the art. Now, we're asking all the people to please take care of it because, Paul, believe it or not, se robaban los sinks, se robaban los toilets, se robaban todo. And
that's something, yeah.
And sad to say, they need to take care of the park because it's their park. It's not ours.
And that's what happens with Laredo. They build something there, and all of a sudden they destroy it, they dismantle it. Hey, be proud of what we have.
Exactly.
Or else we're not going to have anything in the future.
Yes, and that's why
And then people get mad. They say, oye, pues no están haciendo nada. No, si estamos haciendo algo, se lo robaron.
Exactly. You know what? They even stole the benches to sell the aluminum. Benches are aluminum, whatever. They stole everything. They stole trees, like the oak trees that were planted there. They stole them. They stole everything. And no, I know. So finally, we decided to put cameras. We have cameras there. The lights. They asked me, Commissioner, we want to practice baseball, but the lights are all broken. Well, we installed brand new lights again within a week. That were all broken with BB guns. No. So it's very difficult. It's costly, It's very costly. But the resurfacing of the park was done by nothing but volunteers. It didn't cost the county anything. Thank God.
That's beautiful.
Yes,
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Looking forward to continue being your commissioner and expand the services that we're doing and work with other departments, and not only to improve the quality of life of Precinct 2, but for all Webb County residents. I'm elated for that.
No, congratulations.
Thank you.
One thing we have to talk a little bit more.
Yes.
We need to get our kids off the street.
Yes.
We need to pay attention to our kids. Look at the horrific event that occurred yesterday.
I know.
Prayers to everybody in Florida.
Exactly.
Prayers to the families. This is something that our hearts were just collapsed yesterday by hearing the horrific event that went on.
Yes.
And parents, embrace your kids and listen to them. Principals, teachers, listen to what the kids going on, because our kids are the ones that were talking, and if you listen to them, they were saying that there was already problems. Let's catch those problems before stuff like this occurs.
Yes. And you said it right. It's very important that we listen to our kids. Let me tell you, Paul, a major project that we're doing right now. We started with a youth village, which is a juvenile, and it's comprised of education, detention, and rehabilitation. We are already in the schematics and the design plan of the detox center. So never have we ever had a detox center for juveniles. Right now, the addiction is very, very high, and we definitely need that because we have to transport our juveniles out of town. We will be having a detox center soon, and that's the final project of the youth village. Yeah. We have a JJAP, which is an alternative school for juveniles. We have the detention, which is a juvenile detention center. Now we're going to build the detox, which is excellent rehabilitation program for our kids, and I'm looking forward to that.
No, we all are.
Yes.
And now I keep saying this: we as parents have to look over our children. We have to look at what they're doing, who their friends are, all that good stuff. And they might say we're old-fashioned. No, put your foot down.
Yeah, you're right.
Put your foot down, and sometimes it's no. You're not going to go over there.
And that's why I say programs like yours, the Sabate, oh my God. You know, the discipline is what really matters. You know, the kids know that they need to respect and they need to be, you know, stern and the way it should be. And I think we need more activities like those for us to discipline these kids as much as we can. And yes, granted, sometimes parents don't have the money.
Sometimes, that's what we find out. The parents don't have the money.
Yeah.
And, we'll be, I will go out there, and if you all open up a program, I'll go out there and teach them. If you want us to go out there in the colonias,
nice.
We'll do that.
Thank you.
We're here for that.
Thank you.
And,
that means a lot.
There's an old saying my uncle used to say, and it's, vives para servir, si no sirves para vivir.
Oh, that's a good one. Yes.
Okay?
Very good.
So that's what we're here for.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
and
you.
let's talk a little bit more, because I got interested in that. What have you said? You know what? I didn't do this kind of good, but you know what? I'm fixing it, and I'm going to get it better. What project? What in the county que puedes decir tú? ¿Sabes qué? I really didn't quite like the outcome of that, but I'm going to go in there and I'm going to redo the whole thing.
Actually, one project that I can think of right now is the arsenic removal in Bruni, Texas.
Yeah.
We invested $800,000 to remove the arsenic in the water. Excuse me. And we didn't have enough. It was good. It was good. It's a pilot program that, guess what? Everywhere in the United States are going to be using it. Bruni was a testing
ground.
Yeah. And through the office, it was enough for me. So through the office of Henry Cuellar, I was able to obtain more money. I want to say $1.8 million, close to $2 million that they are working on. It's working beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It's taken time, but just as much as they live very far, those are considered colonias. So I was able to obtain the $800,000 grant for the RO unit, so we can remove the arsenic as much as possible. Like I said earlier, water is a necessity. It's not a luxury. So those people are very, very happy. I've been working with them and talking to them, and they are extremely elated that now they can drink water, calm and relax. That was one project that I wasn't too happy with. The $800,000, I was able to get more money through the office of Henry Cuellar, sure. our representative. Yeah, he has been excellent, instrumental in improving the quality of life in that area as well.
Yeah. Talking about water, do we have any aquifers in the state education land that we might be able to use to lower those taxes también, o no tenemos?
We have a well that was built in the school lands that we're hoping that we can use as a secondary water source through the aquifer, sending more water to alleviate that for the community. We haven't completed that still, but that is on the works, and that's what we're looking forward to, because like you mentioned earlier, the Rio Grande is the only source of water for us here, and Laredo's growing big time, so we need to do something about it. Yes.
Are those lands being used to their fulfillment, or there's more stuff that we can do, more ideas to bring in more revenue to lower?
They are being used. Yes, they are being used, and we are able to get some monies for the schools, which is very good for them. I know for a fact that those projects have been extremely important and successful. That's what matters to me.
Yeah, but that's a good idea.
Yes, it's a very, very good idea.
And we have to, when we have it, let's use it.
Yes, exactly. There's what concerns me is, for example, the landfill. We only have a life of maybe 12 years, so we need to start looking somewhere. I know that CY Benavides is applying for Pescadito landfill, but it's in the flood zone. I know that it's up to us to decide whether we're going to use it or not. What we don't like is that toxic waste will be thrown there from everywhere, not only Laredo. States can come in, Mexico, everywhere can throw hazardous material, toxic waste. That, what? There's streams that run through Pescadito, and that goes directly to the our river. Water. The river, yes.
Yeah, we have to watch out for that. If it's toxic waste, then I think water, toxic waste, water.
Exactly.
That's the way it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And if you want to go toxic waste, no. If it's waste like stuff that's going to be decomposable, yeah, let's go with that. But if it's toxic waste, no, I don't.
That's what scares me. And you know what?
Sure, scares everybody.
You can imagine when you have a little baby, you need to give water. I mean, how can you get the water if you don't trust it if it's toxic?
No.
No. I think it's very important that we look at that before we make a decision.
Yeah. Is there other people that have come up with ideas of landfills and stuff like that?
No. In fact, that's the only one that we have pending right now. The good thing is that our landfill is good for 12 years. So now we need to look at the future. What's going to happen in 25 years, you know?
Yeah, well, in 12 years.
Exactly. It goes by really fast. Very, very fast. That's a good question. Thank you.
Because 12, right, that's something that we need to be looking at.
Yes.
And especially, and looking for, maybe you can set a team or committee for that, to look at land that's not in a flood zone, that's not in a waterway, that's whether it's a stream or whatnot, that it's not in none of those, because we have a lot of land that's not anywhere because it's dry, and start looking and telling those, ¿cómo se llama? Those
individuals,
those property owners, you know what would you like for that?
Or simple as that, make another landfill like the one we have with the city, but not to include the toxic and all the waste. Go to your hometown and in whatever state and do it in your state, not here in Laredo. That's what I don't like, and I need to look at whatever's in the best interest of Webb County.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course. Anything else you'd like to?
No, I just want to thank you for inviting me here. It's a good source of communication where the public can know the issues and what we're facing right now and how are we going to do to correct it. And hopefully things will work out. I know that it's a short time, but we were able to get things across. I thank you and your program for such a great job. Mr. Mora, Sergio Mora also, and everyone involved gives everyone the chance to speak out and let the public know.
And yeah, that's what it's all about. It's not about, there's a lot of issues that some people might look at, it's wrong.
Yeah.
It's a lot of issues that are right for some and not right for others.
Correct.
But wait a minute, there's a lot of people that live here.
Yes.
And everything at the end of the day, it's for Webb County.
Exactly.
Okay. Como va el dicho, no soy moneda de oro para que le
caerle bien a todos. Exactamente.
Pero when you're working towards a good, then that's what it's.
Exactly. Whether some people like me or don't like me, well, I got to do what I have to do. If you tell them no, they're going to hate you, and that's it. They're going to go against you. Well, ni modo. Como dices tú, no soy monedita de oro para caerle bien a todos.
But you're just doing your job, yes. And that's where it's at. That's where it's at.
I did have an encounter with one of our department heads that wasn't happy at all. When we cut some staff members, we didn't fire them. We just transferred them to another department that needed more staff. And I said, "Are you going to hold it against me because I'm doing my job? I'm doing my job. You know what I mean?" I said, "I don't hold it against you because you ruled against me in court. You're doing your job, so respect me for what I'm doing. That's the way it should be."
And that's what happens, and people here in Laredo take it at heart. And we all have our own opinions.
Yes.
We all can vote with whoever we want.
Exactly.
And people here take it to an extreme of hate.
Yes.
And you're like, political mimes and political cartoons exist and have always existed. That's something that sometimes they're true. Sometimes it wakes us up and say, "Oh, Chihuahuas, you know what? Is that what they think? Maybe I'm going to do better. I'm going to stand up and do something."
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's reminding me, hey, okay.
Yes, yeah, you're right.
And pero some of this stuff that's going out there, you're like, Chihuahuas, man. Calm down.
They get really mad. I
know,
very mad.
And that's like.
I know. We just need to continue working.
Relax.
And we need to continue working to do whatever's best in the community. That's it. That's all we want. Hey, we're not perfect. You can make a mistake here or a mistake there, but there's room for improvement. You know what I mean? And there's room for us to do what's right. And not that we're doing anything out of the ordinary, but hey, granted, if I made a wrong decision, I'm a human being, you know what I mean? But we need to look at whatever's in the best interest of Webb County. And that's what I do. When I vote, I say, hey, that's my vote, and that is it. Right, wrong, you might not agree, you might agree. Ni modo.
Just wait.
Así es.
let's talk this. Out of all the, you work with how many county judges? 2, ¿verdad? Or 3?
No, 2.
What are the differences de cada uno?
As far as the county judges are concerned, one is more down to earth than the other. In fact, I enjoyed working with both of them, but I was just talking to my secretary about it this morning. I said, you know what, one is more down to earth than the other, and one listens and works very hard, but each one thinks different. So what do? You just have to respect each one, which I do respect each one, and life goes on.
And they're great guys.
Yeah, they're great guys.
They're both of them have,
Yeah.
They both both are trying to project the betterment. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And it's interesting to watch,
because you have to be everywhere. Look at me, I'm wearing jeans, and because I had to go to the Larga Vista Community Center right now. So it's like I was there with the kids, and you need to come down to the people's level. You need to be seen as part of them. So to me, it's very, very important that they relate to me, and being able to hug them and to, tell them how much you care about them and so forth. Not being uppity up here because you are commissioner nombre. You should be part of them as well, and that's what people like. Yes.
And that's the way. That's the attitude that one should be.
Yes.
Have. Only because you got elected, that doesn't mean
makes you above
them. That you're still the same.
Exactly.
You're just talking for everybody in that area.
That's it. That's it. But we're same, all in one.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Well, wish you the best.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you for inviting me.
No, thank you. And tell the community a little bit something what you want.
My name is Wawi Tijerina, and I'm your current county commissioner for Precinct 2. I humbly ask for your vote. I will continue to work hard to improve the quality of life, not only for Precinct 2 residents, but for all Webb County. When I first took the oath of office, I promised, and I actually don't make promises, I made a pledge that I will continue to work hard for the betterment of the county. Once again, I thank you for your invitation, Paul. I ask each and every one of you to go out and vote for Wawi, the best qualified candidate. Thank you.
Folks, here's a couple of things. Number one, exercise the right to vote.
Yes.
And today, this weekend, go out, embrace your kids, embrace those loved ones, and remember, you're the guide to them. Let's pray for those that were affected in Florida. Pray to all the kids that are out there that are not understanding the tragedy that occurred, the horrific event, and talk to them. Explain to them what occurred. Embrace them, because that's what we need now. We have not. Florida's Florida. People say it happened in Florida. No, those kids, it affected everybody in the United States. That event affected the whole America and worldwide now. Okay, because now people are questioning, doing what. But what it comes down to is embrace our kids. When they say something's wrong, listen to them. Teachers, when a child goes in there and he tells you that something's going on, pay attention. Principals do the same thing. Okay? And if you all need somebody to talk to, if kids here need somebody to voice an opinion, I know Commissioner Tijerina or myself will talk to you guys.
Absolutely.
And because, and if there's something here, I'm talking to the kids in Laredo, if you guys have any questions or see something strange and they're not paying attention to you, we'll go under with you and we'll go personally.
Yeah.
And we'll help you all out. Okay? Because number one, you all are what's important. It's our children's future. Okay? That's why she's here for the future of the benefit, not for what happened yesterday. It's gone. All right? So you all take care. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the carnival. Enjoy the parade. And